Hello, everyone. I believe you're good, and welcome back to this series. Depending on where you're going to be watching this video from, this video is actually supposed to be only for my students, so it's supposed to only be in my forex course, but the content is quite deep. After I prepared the lesson notes, I thought it is going to be great to also share it with the public. But I know that number one, the public don't like watching videos that are too long. Secondly, a video that's not edited, many people will not watch it. So for that reason, I will make the video long, and two, I will not edit it. So if you pay for my course and you're seeing this video in my course, you know that you will have to watch it till the end because it's part of what you paid for. But if you're seeing it on my YouTube channel, it's your choice whether to watch it till the end or not. So let's get to the content of the video. The title of this video is Measuring Performance in Trading Beyond P&L. Measuring performance in trading beyond P&L. If you've been trading for a while, even if it's just 1 month, you know that this is a very important topic. Most people measure performance, measure progress or growth using only P&L. And you know what I mean by P&L? Profit and loss. In fact, for an average trader, is going to be asking, so what is progress in trading without P&L? So that is why you are here. You understand? That's why you're here, to know how do you measure performance beyond profit and loss? Is profit and loss the only parameters to measure performance or progress in trading? And I urge you to watch this video till the end because definitely you're going to learn a lot from it. So let's get into it. P&L, like we said, is profit and loss. This has become the only, or let's say it has become the major yardstick, if not the only yardstick for measuring progress in trading. But it shouldn't be that way. Trading is beyond profit and loss, or it's beyond a spreadsheet, a balance sheet. No. Trading affects you. And I've said this more than once, I've said this several times, that it's become a cliche that many people don't seem to understand. And before many people come to this conclusion, they must have traded for some people 5 years, some 3 years before they come to this understanding. Trading becomes a part of you. You become trading. You understand? Before you attain success. So trading is not just clicking buy and sell button and closing the week in profit or closing the day in profit. If you close in loss, you feel things has gone very bad, nothing is working and all of that. No, trading is beyond that. Trading is not just about clicking the buy and sell button. So profit and loss cannot and should not be the only parameter to measure success, progress, or performance in trading. Now let's talk about the trader's journey. So we're going to talk about the trader's journey and how to measure progress per stage of this journey. You understand that? So the trader's journey starts from a certain stage to another until you become a professional trader. So at each stage, what does progress mean? We're together. What does progress mean in each stage? Because it cannot be profit and loss in every stage. No. So you see, this is why the parameter of profit and loss being the yardstick for measuring progress being flawed. Because if it's only profit and loss that we can use to measure progress, then at certain stage there is no profit, no loss, and that stage number one is the stage of uninformed. For an uninformed person about the trading industry, there is nothing he has to do with profit and loss. You get that? So let's mention those stages. Number one is the uninformed. Two is the beginner trader. Three is the intermediary trader. And number four is the professional trader. I'll go over it again. Number one is the uninformed, should we use the word trader, or uninformed person. Number two is the beginner trader. Number three is the intermediary. Number four is the professional trader. Now, who is the uninformed trader, uninformed person? Someone who has no idea about the trading industry. Perhaps he just hear people talk about trading. Perhaps he saw an advert about trading for the first time, or maybe has seen a couple of adverts like that. If you have been trading, you take your mind back, you know that there was a stage in your life, or there was a time in your life where you had no idea what trading meant. I personally heard of trading for the first time over the radio. There was an event that was about to happen, and the organizers went on radio and they were talking about it. They said forex trading, and I paid attention. It never made sense. In fact, I thought they meant forest, as in forest, Forest. That's what I thought. Then when I paid attention more, I heard forex. So that's it. So at a stage of your life, you are uninformed about trading, and it is your choice whether you want to pursue this or get better knowledge or ignore it. There are several people who have heard of trading maybe once, twice, even 10 times, and have decided not to pursue the knowledge, and it's fine. So at that stage, you are uninformed. Then the second stage is the beginner trader. The beginner trader is the one who has gotten to understand at least the definition of forex trading, what it is and what it entails. That's the beginner trader. Then the intermediary trader is the one who has gotten what we want to call basic knowledge, as we could say has learned how to trade, but is yet to find his way around, or is yet to be good in trading. Let's put it that way. That's an intermediary trader. And a professional trader is one who is good. He has been trading for a while, minimum of 5 years. Minimum of 5 years. This debatable. A person becoming a professional trader in less than 2 years. I don't really think so. It's more than that, usually more than that. Because after training, after practicing building system, the next thing is now psychology, how to trade without emotions. It takes a professional to do that, and that is not achieved in 2 years, I can assure you that. So these are the stages of a trader's journey. So let's now, having understood this, you can see that it's not all of these stages that profit and loss is involved. I believe a beginner trader has nothing to do with profit and loss. An uninformed trader definitely has nothing to do with profit and loss. Are we together? So let's get into what does progress mean to each of these stages? What does progress mean to each of these stages? For the uninformed trader, gathering information to know whether this is something he wants to pursue in the long term. That is what progress will mean to an uninformed trader. Like I said, the first time I heard about forex trading was over the radio. I don't know whether it was a broker. I don't know whether it was an individual who was organizing the event. I just remember that a particular conversation was going on over the radio and they mentioned forex trading. I tried to pay attention and I wasn't really grabbing what was discussed. This probably 10 years ago. So it was my decision to follow up on this information. I think after that, I did not follow up. Actually, I did not. The next time I got to hear about forex trading was from someone I was close to. Let's use the word close, because he was a part of a multi-level marketing firm, and the firm was actually a forex signal provider who had multi-level marketing as part of their business model. So he was pitching to me to join their platform because he knew that I had a good power of oratory. I think I mentioned this story in my book, Trading Without Tears. So, and I could easily gather crowd and make presentations like you see me do. So he knew that I had a skill, and not everybody can do this. So he wanted me to bring this skill into his team. You understand that? So he asked me to join them. I couldn't afford the cost of registration. I think that time it was about $300 or so for, was it monthly subscription or one-time subscription? I can't recall, but I recall the amount was $300 or slightly above that. I couldn't afford it because as at this time I was very, very broke. So, and of course, $300 in Nairas at that time was quite, even though lesser than what it is right now, but it was still a reasonable amount of money. I think that time it was over 100,000 Naira or thereabout, about 100,000 Naira. I couldn't afford it. So, he was the person I heard about forex trading from in close range, and he told me he's going to teach me and all of those stories, and I couldn't actually sign up. So that was the first time I heard about forex trading in close range, and I decided to follow up and gather knowledge. The first time before this time I was with this person, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago that I heard about forex trading over the radio. You get that? So the first time I heard about it, I never followed through. Then this time again, I was hearing about it in a close range, and I asked questions, started doing some research, and here I am. So there are people that will get to hear about forex trading for the first time and will forget about it. They don't care. They don't want to know. They just let it go. Perhaps they were walking by the roadside and saw something that related to forex trading. They saw it and moved on. So once a person is in that stage of uninformed and he gets to hear about forex trading, what is progress for that person at that stage? It is gathering information about this industry, gathering information about the sector, and making his mind whether he wants to follow up, whether he wants to get into the sector. That is progress for that stage. Do you understand? As you can see, profit and loss is not mentioned. Then the second stage, which is the beginner stage, what is progress for a beginner trader? Number one is choosing a mentor based on value and principles. This is one thing many traders don't do. And I don't know, should I say it's unfortunate that the people who will be seeing this video are those who have already chosen me as a mentor, because if you've not chosen me as a mentor, you will definitely not be buying my forex course. Many traders choose mentors for very vague reasons. And one of those very vague reasons, which I'll say the greatest of those vague reasons, is the person who is putting out lifestyle videos. That's the one they choose the most. Why? Because he is putting out something that seems like their dream, and they convince themselves that if they follow this person, that they will certainly attain this lifestyle sometime, someday, which many a times doesn't work. You are actually contributing to that lifestyle. I don't want to digress. So, for a new trader, choosing a mentor is a very significant aspect of your progress. So, you have to choose mentors based on values and principles. If you are someone who wants to go find the trading industry, you don't want to associate with a mentor who is flaunting possessions, who is putting up lifestyle videos, whose main marketing tool is his lifestyle. You want to associate with a trader who is more disciplined about his trading, who uphold risk management to high extent. Do you understand? That is how to choose the right mentor. Now, if you are someone who wants to live your trading career in let me use that word, pump and dump. Okay, yeah, that's the right phrase. You want to live your trading journey as a pump and dump, then feel free, continue, go ahead with those mentors who do the lifestyle thing. You understand? That is what you want to do. Follow them. So choosing a mentor based on values and principles is very important. It's non-negotiable. It's something you must do. It's something you have to do in order to attain your desired goal as a trader. Are we together? Let me not dwell on that, but I believe you understand me. Then, second thing you want to do is taking a training. As a beginner trader, you want to take a training. Forget that trial and error, except you cannot afford it, or the person you want to mentor you can't afford his training. But if you can afford it, do everything you have to do to get the person to train you. So take a training. This is the next thing you want to do. After you've chosen the right mentor for you, you take a training. Let the person train you. You can't afford one-on-one training, get his course. Maybe you can't afford his course, join his group training. Any of these, just make sure you find an avenue to learn from this person directly, not indirectly. Indirectly is going to watch his videos, YouTube videos, and perhaps social media videos. That is indirect mentorship. But you want this person to teach you directly. So get either his one-on-one training, his course, or his group training. Join any of these three and let the person train you directly. There should be an avenue where you can ask him questions directly and he answers you personally. That is what you want for yourself, and you'll see that you're making progress. Number 3 is practicing on demo. Practicing on demo. You want to do this as a beginner trader. You want to practice on demo until you are good at it, till you build a system, till you are able to come up with a strategy that works well for you. So practicing on demo is very important. So you see, I've mentioned 3 things that you need to do at the beginner stage, and you can see that you can hear that I never mentioned profit and loss. So when you have attained these 3, you will definitely know that you've made progress in trading without mentioning profit and loss. Are we together? So don't convince yourself that trading is not limited to spreadsheets. It's not limited to profit and loss. It's not limited to trading history. If you are making progress by doing these things I've said, you will know that you've made progress even if you've not made any money. Are we together? True or false? You will know that you've made progress. In fact, there is no how an uninformed person will meet someone who has taken a training, even though he has not made any money, and can tell himself or convince himself that him and the other person are in the same level. It's not true. Do you understand that? It's not true. So you want to take these steps and you'll see that you're making progress. Now, for an intermediary trader, what is progress like? What does progress mean for an intermediary trader? Number 1 is building a trading system or strategy that works for him. Building a trading system or strategy that works for him. So for an intermediary trader, remember we said that the intermediary trader comes after a beginner trader. So at the beginner stage of taking a training and start practicing on demo, Once you have built a strategy that works for you, then you're already in the intermediary stage. So you want to do this for yourself. Ensure you are practicing until you come up with a strategy that works for you well. Make sure you have come up with a strategy that works well for you and stick to it. That is the stage of an intermediary trader. That's progress for you as an intermediary trader. Are we together? And secondly, is understanding risk management. Of course, risk management is part of your strategy. It's unfortunate that we have to talk about it separately because many people usually yield, when they talk about strategy, they mostly yield towards win rates and profit targets. Meanwhile, risk management is a major part of the strategy. There are strategies that cannot handle 5 consecutive losses. And that is not a good strategy if you ask me. Your strategy should be able to survive more than 10 consecutive losses. Yes, it should be able to. Because you don't have control over the market. You don't. There are times trade goes against you and you look at it very well, you think through very well, and there's nothing you could have done better. One of such instances is Donald Trump's tweet, or truth as it is now. Are we together? Okay, so that is another way to measure progress for an intermediary trader, and you can see we've not mentioned profit and loss. Then for a professional trader, how do you measure progress without talking about profit and loss? And that is sticking to the rules. Sticking to your rules irrespective of the outcome. Sticking to your rules irrespective of the outcome. For a professional trader, this is progress. You will not know how tough this is until you are here. In fact, for, should I use the word younger traders, for traders that are not yet professional, you will assume that professionals are very good at this. Even though they are supposed to, but many at times they are not. The reason is because they are humans and they have emotions. So, a person having gone through training, built a strategy, now it is for him to stick to the rule. There are occasions you'll be tempted to do otherwise. So if you cannot, then you have a problem. When you can stick to your rules consistently for straight 1 month, you know that you're making progress. You know. Personally, more than once, I've broken my rules and I tell myself, this was uncalled for. This was not right. Even many a times when I do, the trades go in loss. One of such occasions was when I had my child. My emotions was high. Usually I'm not supposed to trade throughout perhaps that week or two. But firstly, I was providing signal for some people. You know, when people are subscribed to your signal service, you are obligated to provide them signal. Secondly, I was also trying to make money to replenish for what I spent during as hospital bill. So I ended up having consecutive losses. I had consecutive losses and it was painful. So when I thought back, and I just knew it was my fault. I knew it was my fault. So for a professional trader, sticking to your rules, irrespective of the outcome, is progress. If you can do that, you see that you're getting better and better every single day. So how do you measure progress in each of these stages? We talked about what progress meant for each of these stages. Now, how do you measure progress in each of these stages? For an uninformed trader, you ask yourself, how many YouTube videos have you watched? And how many seminars and webinars have you attended? So, like we said, for an uninformed trader, you're yet to make the decision whether you want to get into the trading industry or not. So, you don't have sufficient information to make that decision. And in order to get sufficient information, you need to go out for information. And to go out for information means watching YouTube videos like it is available in the world of today, and attending events, webinars, and seminars where, of course, it has to be free. You have no reason to pay for a seminar at this stage of your journey. So attend free events, free seminars, free webinars. Get to hear what is said and how it is said, what is communicated. Get to gather basic information around this period. Then you make the decision whether you want to get into forex trading or not. Then for a beginner trader, how do we measure progress for a beginner trader? How many books have you read? Have you taken a training? And have you chosen a mentor? And these parts could sound funny, but if you've been here, you know it is true. At this stage of your journey, you will see yourself attracted more to traders or mentors in quotes who put out seeming results. So, for anybody who is strictly on educational videos, you think he doesn't have much to offer, you think he doesn't know so much, or he is not doing well. Meanwhile, those who are putting out videos, pictures over and over again of profit and cash outs, payouts, and all of that, or vacation, cars, and all of those videos, those are the ones that tend to attract you. So you want to put yourself together and choose which one you want to follow. And let me tell you, whichever mentor you choose will determine the kind of trader you become, because you will not be different from your teacher. I repeat that. Whichever mentor you choose will determine the kind of trader you become, because you cannot be better than your teacher. That's one. Secondly, if you are misled into choosing a particular person as your mentor, by the time you will see the actual thing that's going on, or you don't even find out at all, you would have already gotten burnt out. Let me explain that part. For instance, you choose a mentor who puts out flashy stuff, and you assume that he got it through forex trading. For instance, let me give you an illustration on that. There's a particular female trader, she calls herself a trader, female mentor, who claims she built a house at a very young age. I won't mention the age so that it doesn't look as if I'm attacking her, but I need you to get the point, get the lesson I'm giving here. Who claims she built a house at a very young age, bought a decent car also at a very young age. Then lots of people paid to join her mentorship, only for her not to be able to teach. You understand? Many of those people started calling her out on social media. And the terrible part of it is that for many of them, they will end up giving up on forex trading because at this point, they believe that forex is a scam. Do you understand? So, you have to be careful who you choose as a mentor, because this person has the ability to motivate you, to make you, or to mar you. I won't dwell on that, but I believe the point has been driven home. So, as a beginner trader, how to measure progress is how many courses you've how many books you've read, if you've taken a course or a training, and have you chosen a mentor. Then for an intermediary trader, have you built a system you can rely on? Have you built a system you can rely on? Because many people it will take time before they finally do. So if you have finally been able to build a system that you can rely on, then you've made progress as a trader. You've made progress at that level. Are we together? And how long have you been practicing? As an experienced trader, I will tell you the truth. I have seen someone that practiced for only 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And is already feeling like a mentor. He's already feeling like a mentor. In fact, there's someone I trained, then 1 month later, he had already started his own academy. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm talking about? So, you have to be very careful. Practice long enough. Practice long enough. The forex market is not running. It's not going anywhere. It will be here 100 years from now. So as long as you're on planet Earth, forex market will be here. So don't be in a haste to make money. Don't be in a haste for anything. Stay and practice long enough. So this is progress at this stage. This is progress at this level of your journey. Understand that. Then finally, for a professional trader, how disciplined are you? That is how to measure progress in that level. How disciplined are you? You can see that everything I've said, I've not mentioned profit and loss. So the title of this video is how to measure progress beyond profit and loss, beyond P&L. And we've done that. So you need to learn to look beyond P&L. You need to learn to see trading as who you're becoming, not what you have. This is very important because the way the forex market is, you could have today and lose tomorrow. And this is not good actually, but it is a possibility. So for that reason, you should learn to look beyond that. You should learn to work on yourself as a person so that irrespective of what happens, you still have something to fall back on. You still have something that you can rely on. This is what I have become within this period. That is what you want to be able to tell yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to believe this video has been very helpful and I hope you've learned a lot. So see you in the next video.